right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the KG Flow. This week I have a great old friend of mine from Barnegat. His name is Grant, but I'll let him introduce himself. Grant, the floor is all yours.
Yeah, hey everyone on the KG Flow. My name's Grant. Kenny and I go way back to eighth grade, I think. We've been friends. I'm living down in Raleigh, North Carolina right now, pursuing my PhD in biomedical engineering. And yeah, happy to be here and here to chat.
Yeah, just to start off things, I have to apologize to the audience, Grant. I have not done my podcast. Like the last episode was all the way back midsummer. So I kind of went on a little hiatus. And we're in the middle of season two right now, and
Sweet.
my goal is to, like, at least like was to get three done by this year, but I had a busy summer and it's been a crazy fall, so I apologize, but I'm glad like I was able to catch back on this and have you on this episode this week. So
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've seen you been lifeguarding, you've been with the military, you were at Rutgers for a bit. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
I
So
know,
I
yeah, man.
think people will forgive you.
I know I've just been all over the place. Like it's ridiculous, but I'm happy that I was able to finally have like a one weekend to finally set this up. Um, so yeah, um, I don't know, just so I guess like for our first serious topic, Grant, we discussed for those who don't know, here at Long Beach Island, LBI, in South Jersey, they're thinking about doing there there's like this project where I think they pushed it back to like 2027 now, if I'm not mistaken, or 28, whatever the case may be. But it's about setting up like wind farms or windmills right outside. Like you can see them from the view on the shore like of LBI, or basically like even like South Jersey, like here. And I've heard like a lot of positive and negatives about it. How like short term it's bad because it's going to disrupt like obviously the coastal environment and sustainability and all that measure. But I don't want to say scientists because like I myself don't know too much information about the whole thing. I just know it's like a huge debate topic here for like the locals, especially in LBI. But they say long term it's going to help out with like energy and all that. And I don't know. Like my That's what my one friend who works with the Stockton Research Coastal Center, who works with me, kind of broke it down for me. So, and he's like on the fence about it. Me, I guess I'm on the fence about it too. I don't know, but I'm not like in the committee board like making these decisions or whatnot. And but I wanted to, what's your take on this, Grant? Like obviously we both grew up here, and I know you're a beach lover just like myself. So what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, so for the viewers, I guess it's important to know that, yeah, I've been living on the coast for most of my life. I lifeguarded just like Kenny did for several years, so I spent a lot of time at the beach, in the ocean, surfing, boating, fishing, whatnot. So I never did live on LBI itself, but spent a lot of time there. And what I can say is that, like you said, there's a lot of pros and cons. Pros, of course, being, clean energy transition, creating a lot of jobs. I think I could be wrong about the town, but I think they were going to make Salem, New Jersey, or like some town in the south of New Jersey, a massive manufacturing plant for these wind farms, not just for New Jersey, but from up and down the coast. I think from like Connecticut down to North Carolina, I believe.
Oh,
So a big boon for manufacturing, a big boon for the town that was going to have the actual factories and for the people that would work in them. We also have friends like our buddy Chris Hoops was going to be working as an electrician installing these things. So going offshore on the vessels to actually transport the materials and install them. So seems like a really beneficial project for the East Coast as a whole. Obviously, it was one of Joe Biden's, major projects that he was working on during his term. So, um, I guess like the whole business got a little political, not just locally, but also nationally. So, I guess the negatives would therefore be, I know a lot of the locals on LBI were really worried about, their view being obstructed on the horizon line with these wind turbines. I personally think they're beautiful. I think they're, a sign of hope for the future and for the clean energy transition. So that wouldn't bother me. But I distinctly remember when I come up to visit New Jersey, LBI, that there's a big billboard right on the bridge to LBI that has these like wind farms, but they've been photoshopped to be like right off the coast, like right in the
Yeah.
surfing break,
No, yeah, I see them. I see
super
them too all the time. It's ridiculous.
super exaggerated, right? So that kind of bums me out. But then also I know a lot of fishermen have been worried that it would obstruct their vessels and their ability to fish offshore. And then finally, I heard something about migratory birds and whale species being impacted by these. So I'm also not a scientist or like a marine biologist, so I can't really speak to that. But that's the take.
No, yeah, I think whatever happens, whether like this, like whether it starts, later now or whatever, it will have a significant impact on us, especially. So, but in regards to like, I don't know if this could help out our environment, I guess in the long term, I'm all for it because like I deeply believe in like climate change and all that. Like I love like especially like I love the environment. I love the coastal environment. Like that means a lot to me. Like I do whatever I can to like keep the beaches clean, pick up my trash, volunteer for beach cleanups or anything like that. Um, just because that's what I've like grew up with my whole life, and I always want to make sure like we have that no matter what. So that yeah, that's just my take on it. But but I like it how you said how like they use like the propaganda thing to like it's like counter to that, which is I was like, yeah, I see that all the time.
Yeah, man, I don't know how to feel about it because, progress is progress on the one hand. I feel like they're just delaying the inevitable. Like, I feel like we need this energy transition to happen. And I think that the winds are a major, method of speeding up the transition because as you know, the offshore winds they strengthen in the evening because of the temperature differential between the land and the sea. So that's so much power that's generated, that we're like missing out on by not utilizing it with these wind farms. Um, but that also makes me wonder too, like sometimes I go to the inlet, I go to like Barnegat Light and I just, sit there, watch the current flowing through the channel there, and I
Hmm.
wonder like why don't we have, hydroelectric power there? Why don't we have, like not dams or anything like that, but water mills or something to collect that power as well. It just makes me wonder.
Yeah, great. I don't know if you know this off the top of your head, but do you know when those windmills around like City were ever built or set up?
No, I don't know. I just remember going there during like college and like between high school and then college and then
Oh
being like,
yeah,
whoa, when did those go up?
hit up the club. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, maybe a little bit. Rutgers takes Harrows.
A little gambling too. Hey, I feel you.
Yeah, like my 21st birthday. That was a good time. But yeah, I don't know when those went up, but those are on the bay side too, which is even more interesting. Like those aren't in the ocean, so I'm not sure. I feel like it would be harder to get people to approve of the bay more than the ocean. But
Yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy, um, but yeah, I mean, hopefully, like people will like just find a resolution for all this, and then like we have to like I don't want to say like pick the lesser of two evils, but um And that's what it has to be. I guess that's what it has to be. I don't know. I just hope, like I said, I hope people find like a common ground with this project, and hope people don't like, go all out war. Like
Absolutely.
war at the shore.
Absolutely. Oh, that would be an interesting one, man. I don't know. Maybe we need to get Mel Urowski on this and get her take. She's a marine biologist, you know?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I haven't talked about this about Mel, but I'll for sure mention it next time I talk to her or see her.
Yeah, I want to hear her take. I feel like, as a teacher, she probably speaks to her students about this stuff. So,
Hmm. All right.
yeah.
I'll put a pin on it, Grant. Definitely. I'll
Yeah.
get back to you on that. Um, so now that we discussed our serious part, now we can just slick slack cat. I don't know. Talk whatever. I was gonna say, how was your Thanksgiving and everything? Like, being home. Were you home for the holiday?
Yeah, so most of my family lives down here now in Chapel Hill. So I just kind of, drove over down I-40 about a half hour and I was right there, stayed with them and had some turkey. Mike Ritchie came by.
Oh, nice.
We're roommates here, so it's a good situation.
Good
Yeah.
vibes. No, I'm good. Good, good. Yeah, same. I was home at my sister's for Thanksgiving. Had a
Nice.
good time. That's honestly my favorite holiday of all time. They're the three
Really
F's. The three F's: football, food, and family. Can't beat
nice.
that.
Are you still playing that football game that they had at the high school back in the day? I think on Thanksgiving break.
Oh, the toilet bowl or the turkey bowl or whatever.
I'm not sure, but I thought like you and maybe Zach Tanner and a few people were always getting together.
Nah, Grant. That died like literally. I want to say 2017, 16. That we don't do
Mm,
that. We just don't meet up anymore and play football, which is sad because I do remember
yeah,
miss playing with like Adam, Jake, Jack, Chaz, like all the guys. But
right.
now we're just old adults, man. We can't, we would run down the field. We'd probably like crack a bone or something.
I feel that. I rolled my ankle on a run the other day. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so old. What?
I know it gets like harder and harder, like a little bit every year, every time I go for a run. It agonizes
Yeah,
me, but what are you gonna do?
right. And well, that and like everybody moved away, So like where are you living? I know you're spending a lot of time up at Rutgers, so
Yeah, I'm just right now I'm staying here in Stafford. Last year I
gotcha.
was living in New Brunswick, but I decided not to stay this year because, or like I left at the end of spring because I just didn't want to pay the rent anymore, or like it was just too much
Yeah,
rent, paying for housing and all that. So I decided just to like just stick around home for a little bit, and then next year, once I figure out what I'm doing career wise, then I'll move whatever I'm doing. But
I gotcha. Yeah, and what are you thinking career-wise? I know like you bounced around a little bit with the military and the photography, and then it was like sports management, right?
yeah, so right now I'm finishing up my semester here, my residency part for the Rutgers program. I should get my degree hopefully this coming January, and then from there, like I can decide whatever I want basically. I'm trying to still find like a full-time job within the sports business industry, but
Mm,
right now it's just kind of tough, and I have my foot in the door, but it's just if this was that had been like if I was an undergrad, like if I was like younger 20, this would have been like fine. I would have been on the right path.
mm,
But it's just like I really now that I'm like close to 30, it's just like do I really want to like pursue this? Like it does take
mm,
time, but time is something where like I don't really want to put in. Like I just want to I could go back into the military if I want, resume that,
right.
get my financial stability again, or try to do something maybe with law enforcement. I don't know. Like the options are out there. It's just up to me like what I really want to do. So
Absolutely, man. I mean, I'm a firm believer in that everything happens for a reason. Like you pursue the path that you do, and it always leads you to the right result, So like I don't know. I'm always so like interested in catching up with you and hearing what you're up to because I feel like every time I do, you say something like really like interesting and new, but it kind of builds upon what you've done in the past. So I feel like there's this like grand goal or like this grand result that you're heading towards, and it's just gonna happen at some point, you know?
Oh,
Like
yeah, I appreciate that, Grant.
like each little thing that you're doing is gonna add up to the sum of its parts, and you're gonna end up with the job that you want or like the direction that you want to head in, you know?
Yeah,
I feel it.
I'm honestly kind of since Stockton, ever since I left Stockton, like I've been very fortunate. Like I've had like a good career. I had a good career in the military for 5 years. Got to travel, did this and that. I got
Right.
out as a sergeant. And now that I'm finishing up grad school, like I'm about to get my master's, didn't have to pay 1 cent of tuition
Right?
because my GI Bill covered it.
Right.
And I don't know. I guess from there, like even if like let's just say if I do go back into the military, like think about that. Like I would be like I would have 2 degrees, back on track, and all that, and just it's just crazy to me. Like now that I can't believe like this since I got out last May, like this it's already like boom, like
Right.
we're already here. It's just I don't know. It's crazy to me.
Well, and that's another thing too, right? Like in the military, if you have a bachelor's degree, can't you be promoted to an officer position like fairly quickly? I don't know
Uh
how it works, so
so no, yeah, you can't get if you do get a bachelor's, you can be an officer. You just got through like the officer training school and all that. Me personally, I just went enlisted after college only because I got
right,
the job that I wanted. And I guess I just wanted to like go enlisted route just to I don't know,
right,
just kind of like see that experience. But I should have went officer, just saying. But now I
right. But like,
but now I can. If I want to go back in, I
yeah,
can if I want to. So
right, right. And using the GI Bill was so smart, you know, like that's another major topic too. Student debt. That's part of the reason I decided to go for a PhD instead of a master's. As far as grad school, like I knew I wanted to go back to school for grad school, but it was like master's or PhD. The PhD is paid for, so I don't, and I'm earning a stipend, so I don't owe any money. I'm making a little bit of money. Um, the
yeah,
student debt is like crushing, man.
no, I feel you, but I remember when I came to visit you, what, like 2 3 years ago, like we were having, oh my God, I miss going out downtown Raleigh with you and the guys. That was
Yeah,
so much fun. And
yeah, man.
but I'm glad you're doing great at school too, man. And how much do you have left though? Like a year or two?
No, so according to my professor, I should graduate this summer. So I
Woo!
think, well, I guess I would graduate in May, so you can like walk in graduation before you defend the PhD. And then I would defend the PhD hopefully in like July is my goal.
Gotcha. Hey, right around the corner,
Yeah,
Grant. Right
yeah,
around.
man.
Oh yeah. No, I'm good. I'm happy for you. Like you've been killing it ever since, since high school, basically. Rutgers and now this. Uh, which I got a question for you though. What do you who- where would you prefer, Jersey or Carolina?
Ooh, for what though? For what?
Live
Anything?
living wise or overall ish
Oh
wise?
man. Oh, that's a tough question. I mean, I feel like everything is a little more chill down here. It's a little more relaxed. Um, there's a lot of stuff going on. Like there's almost an overwhelming amount of things that you can do. Like just today before recording, there was this cool like craft market fair thing at a vineyard not too far from my house. So Mike and I, my girlfriend and her friends, we all just went there and shopped around, had some wine. Um, yeah, there's like the big basketball rivalry with UNC and Duke and NC
Hmm.
State, like the big football game yesterday. So like there's always stuff going on. Um, but then, they say it's 3 hours to the shore, 3 hours to the mountains, and like that's cool. But in New Jersey, it's more like, especially where we lived, right? It was like a half hour to the beach and like 2 hours to the mountains. So, you know, um, Oh, they're both like very comparable. I think right now I'm leaning towards North Carolina, but I would have to see a lot more of Jersey, because like North Jersey is so different from South Jersey, I think.
Hmm. You know, since I started Rutgers, I have like experienced. I got to experience the whole like bus riding North Jersey vibe,
Yeah,
and
right.
at first I was scared, but then I was digging it. I really loved it. Uh,
Yeah,
and But I think it's funny how you chose Carolina because a good portion of my career was that I was stationed there. So, and to be honest with you,
right,
I
right.
was not a fan. Maybe it's because I was just like on a military base by like by a Hickville like town, like there's
Yeah,
nothing much to do. So I was just really like
right.
miserable. But I get what you're saying though. Like Carolina, it like you said, is more chill and it does have a vibe to it because when we went to UNC, went to that football game. Oh my god, that was one of the best games I've ever been to. So much fun.
Yeah, that was so fun, man. Yeah, I mean, when you compare like like New Brunswick to this area, it changes the equation a little bit, because like I feel like North Jersey's going on. A lot of my friends after college, they all moved to like Hoboken, Jersey City, Philadelphia, all those spots, and they seem to like it a lot. So, I guess it depends where you want to be in your life, right? Like, I feel like right now I want to be in the thick of it and like having a lot of things to go to, a lot of events to attend. But maybe when I'm older and I want a family, maybe like Barnegat would actually be a little more attractive. You know what I mean?
Barty, yeah.
It was a good place to grow up. You got to admit, like we had
No,
a
yeah.
lot of good times back in the day,
No, we did. Don't get me wrong.
and it was
uh,
safe, and it was, we had a good school, and there was all sorts of nature and woods, and the football games were good. There was a lot going on the beach in the summers, so it's a good
true,
place.
true. You can't beat the beach. Can't.
Mm-mm.
You know what's funny,
I will
Grant?
say, I
Well, oh,
will
go
say
ahead.
real
What's up?
quick, real quick.
Mhm.
Jersey Shore, much better beaches. Much better beaches, man. You can't beat the Jersey Shore. No way.
Boom.
Bagels, pizza, pork roll. Can't get that here, really.
Ah, see that? There you go. Something,
I found
something.
pork roll. I found pork roll here, I will say.
There you go. See, some things Jersey has that Carolina doesn't.
Absolutely.
uh, I was gonna say, Grant, like you know what's funny is that, like I have a coworker at Stockton. His name is Bodie or Brody. I keep messing up his nickname, but it's one of those two. And he literally reminds me of you. Like
Really?
I'm not even joking. He literally is like your long lost brother or something. I don't know, but
That's
he
awesome.
kind of has like the same mannerism as you. And like he's like a new like he's trying to like surf a lot now. And he just he reminds me he reminds me of you. Like it's like your vibe. And I'm just like, dude, like this is crazy. But
Well,
it
next time I'm up there, you should introduce me.
oh my god, if you two meeting, that would crack me up so much. But but yeah, man. Nah, I'm it just reminded me how like you were like one of my first few friends when I moved here all the way back in eighth grade. And you and I don't know, Grant, you were like I feel like you were so different back then compared to like now. And like I don't know. I thought like you just went like I said when we went to downtown Raleigh, you were like a straight up like player. Like you had a girl come over and then you told her get out. Like I loved it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, we grew up in that small town, and I think moving to New Brunswick for Rutgers really just expanded my horizons, changed my perception of the world and my life. And I tried to learn how to kind of go with the flow a little bit more. I think that's a good way to sum it up.
Oh, that's my motto right there. Live, go with the flow.
The KG flow, right?
KG flow, exactly. Oh man. Reminds me of like too like the soccer days that we had. And you know what I kind of wish though, back in high school? Wish I did like a little bit of swimming back then.
That would have been so fun to have you on the team, man. I
Mm,
think
I,
I think more than anything, it's like the camaraderie that we all had on the swim team. You know, we were always having some parties, pasta parties. We'd stay over, watch like horror movies just to kind of build that bond, you know. The It was late nights, but it was like kind of suffering together, you know, brought us close. So
well,
it would have been
yeah,
fun to have you on the team.
not yet. Also, too, like I wish I did it earlier, so that way I could have like done lifeguarding earlier. But
Right.
what are you gonna do? You know,
Right.
like you said, everything happens for a reason. So like me, uh, doing it 5 years ago. No, when did I pass the test? 20. My first summer season was 2019, but I
Mm,
passed the test in 2016. But
okay.
I only did like a couple weeks at ship bottom, and then I left ship bottom.
Gotcha.
And then when
Right.
I got in the military, then I did my first year at Myrtle Beach,
Right.
then Virginia Beach, and now here. So full circle.
Right. But you're also I saw you were on the club swim team at Rutgers, just like I was, and just like Bill, you know Bill. So that's sick.
Yeah, I did it, but I'm being completely honest. I only did it just to stay in shape for this swim test. I wasn't like Michael Phelps or anything like that. I did improve a lot
That's
though.
okay.
I think the 50-meter freestyle swim or whatever. Um my when I started, my time was like 30 or 40 something. And guess what I dropped that to?
What?
It's not like earth shattering or anything like that, but it was like a personal record for me. I dropped it to 27 seconds.
That's solid, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew to qualify for nationals was like 22, 21, I
Oh,
think. But
listen, I've
but
been
to,
swimming since high school. I couldn't qualify either.
but I'm just saying 27 was like a personal like accomplishment for me. So I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, I think they like sped up the times you need for nationals since I was an undergrad. So when I was at Rutgers on the club swim team, I went to nationals and swam a couple of events and
Hmm.
qualified for them. Now, I'm not on the NC State team right now. I had to stop just so I could focus on school, but I was on there for 2 years while you were on the Rutgers team, which I thought was funny. But they dropped the times to like 22 seconds for the 50 free, and I was like, that is fast. I mean, like the fastest kid in high school that we swam against in shore conference did a 22. So like that one kid was the only one who would have qualified for nationals in college,
That's crazy. Oh yeah.
right?
Oh yeah. But hey, maybe they're trying to get more competitive. Who knows?
Yeah, honestly. I mean, I think it's a good thing overall, but it sure was fun at nationals, but they're doing it in Ohio now, I think. When
That's
I was
yeah.
there, we went to Georgia Tech, which was a fun time.
Oh, word. Yeah, no, this past spring it was at Ohio State. Yeah. It was pretty dope.
Right.
Um, all right, Grant. Coming down to crunch time. You have any like last remarks or anything you want to leave, to anyone out listening, I guess, or
I don't know. Could say the cliche, follow your dreams or whatever, but kind of like I was saying before, I think that everything that, you know, especially you and I have done in our lives has led us to the points that we are at. And I think everything compounds, right? So just like for you with all of your career moves, I think it's going to add up to lead you to the right spot that you want to be. And I like to think that what I've been doing with my career is also taking me in the right direction. You know, I don't know what that is yet, but we're going to see hopefully soon. So I guess to anyone who's listening, I would say, you know, look at the bigger picture and see what all the things that you've been doing adds up to in the end, because it might surprise you where it takes you, you know?
I like that. I like that little philosophical kick to it. All
Of
right.
course.
Well, Grant, thank you again for coming on. I appreciate you. It's good talking to you again, catching up as always. And I hope to hear from you soon.
Yeah, Kenny, thanks for having me on here, man. This was really cool. Happy to talk again, and I'll look you up next time I'm up in Jersey, hopefully this summer after I finish the degree. That's the goal.
Oh, once you're done, definitely let me know.
Oh
We
yeah.
have to celebrate.
Oh yeah, Shell, I want my dollar Miller Lite at the Shell or whatever it is.
Thunder Thursday.
Thunder Thursday. Let's go. Cool, man.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks again for anyone tuning in. Again, I apologize for the long hiatus. I will try to get back on track with my podcast. But other than that, thank you. Hope you everyone had a great Thanksgiving holiday weekend, and hope to hear back soon. So with that, adios.